YouTube, Sister Kate here again. Once more, going down the lane that is the MGTOW philosophy. Oh, it's not even a movement. I've been corrected on that. It's been an interesting voyage. I've gotten a lot of information, a lot of comments. I've had comments everywhere from "you're the wisest woman I've ever known" to "I hate you, you're an idiot, shut up, don't make any more videos." So I'm guessing reality is somewhere in the middle, which is kind of how I look at the MGTOW movement too. Lots of dudes complaining, feminazis are totally evil and wicked. Somewhere in the middle is probably the truth. Anyway, I was reading this book, it's so last century, called How to Win Friends and Influence People by this shy little guy named Dale Carnegie, who started out as a poor dirt farmer in Missouri and became a world famous millionaire with buildings in his name and so on. And if you see at the top, over 9 million copies of this sold when this was published, so there's probably been that many more since then. Long story short, what he was good at was persuading people, and he was not insincere about it. He said flattering people is insincerity, but if you're just genuinely positive with people, that's all anybody wants. And while I was reading it, I thought, there are some interesting quotes here by this man that I have heard from the MGTOW groups, and also kind of relates to what I think about what's going on there in society. So one of the things was, do you know someone you would like to change and regulate or improve? Good, that's fine. I'm all in favor of it, but why not begin with yourself? This is a man saying this, you guys, not a woman. From a purely selfish standpoint, that is a lot more profitable than trying to improve others. Yes, and a lot less dangerous. When a man's fight begins with himself, said Browning, he is worth something. It will probably take from now until Christmas to perfect yourself. You can then have a nice long rest over the holidays and devote the new year to regulating and criticizing other people. But perfect yourself first. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbor's roof, said Confucius, when your own doorstep is unclean. The reason I put that in there is because I heard something very similar from one of you guys recently, and I thought, maybe there's something to that. That particular person said all men should take a year off of self-reflection and learning to know oneself, separate from all the demands that society puts on your attention, including girlfriends and family and everything else. So I give that to you. And there's more. If you and I want to stir up resentment tomorrow, that may rankle across the decades and endure till death, just let us indulge in a little stinging criticism, no matter how certain we are that it is justified. Food for thought. When dealing with people, let us remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic. Oh no, we're dealing with creatures of emotion. Creatures bristling with prejudices and motivated by pride and vanity. I think Dale knew a little bit about human nature. And criticism is a dangerous spark, a spark that is liable to cause an explosion in the powder magazine of pride, an explosion that sometimes causes people to hasten their own death. Interesting. And then there was one other quote. Any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. And did you know that the Bible says that a fool is someone who will not take correction, and that a wise person hears correction and at least thinks about it? But it takes character and self-control to be understanding and forgiving. Let me repeat that. It takes character and self-control to be understanding and forgiving. A great man shows his greatness, said Carlyle, by the way he treats little men. Great people, you measure their greatness by how they treat little people. Also very interesting. So, I think that's pretty good food for thought. I'd like to hear your feedback on that. In general, I have found across the MGTOW and incel philosophy some compelling arguments that something's going on in society and that men don't like it, and I get that. I've had 2 people tell me I personally need to solve that whole problem with society. Sister Kate, you need to do something about it. Not exactly sure what y'all thought I could do about it. I live here off grid. I'm retired. I'm making videos. I feel like that's something. And I've also seen misogyny. Sorry, it is in your ranks. And I have seen people who are quoting violence as even as strong as, if I don't do something about this problem, people are going to come kill my husband and rape me to death. Really interesting. What that told me was that's exactly what that person is picturing doing to other people, or at least some of the men in this movement are picturing doing that and getting satisfaction thinking about that. And it also told me that you've come to my channel to watch these MGTOW videos, but you haven't seen any of my other videos because, 1, finding us would be a little difficult, and 2, not very profitable on your part. And that's all I'm going to say about that. My hope is in the future that society kind of evens itself out. Definitely, there's a lot of illogical thought out there because just because some people are extreme in their, gynocentrism, it's a logical fallacy to take individual circumstances and then apply them to a whole. So just because some women are following modern standards of behavior does not mean everyone is. And there's millions of women in the United States. I'm guaranteeing you that not all of them follow gynocentrism. They just don't. And I want you men who've withdrawn to understand that the biblical way is my answer to your issues. But that rests on the biblical woman being an obedient woman. And the modern Christian church does not emphasize obedience. And I don't mean to their husband, I mean obedience to God. They don't believe in the commandments of God, which I can get into that if you guys want to, and show you without a doubt that that is a misinterpretation of the Bible, and that one of the things God values above all for his people is that they obey his laws, his statutes, his commandments, his standards that he's put up in order to make you, his people, set apart. And set apart is what holy means. Holy does not mean the halo. Holy means set apart and different from everybody else. So I get it in that you may not be able to find that perfect woman for you in society at large. You may not even be able to find her in churches. But churches are going to have a lot better probability that you find that perfect woman for you. And if you pray to the Lord to bring that perfect woman for you sometime into your sphere, that's a way better statistic than science or society or anyone else has to offer you. Thanks for coming around. Subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. Bless you. Shalom.